Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's all good. It's all good.
Alright. Okay, Mr. Chairman,
So, do we want to do any business or?
so one thing I can say is I noticed we did not actually, we have the recording, but we didn't do the minutes for our last meeting,
Okay.
which was in November, so
We can table it.
we'll just have two sets of minutes
That makes perfect
for the
sense.
next meeting.
So we'll table our minutes to the next meeting.
Okay. I'm just writing down who's here.
That's right.
And when did we open? There's my phone. 5:04.
5:04, the meeting has come to order, and our guest tonight, what's the name of the storage place?
They actually, is this gonna be Tom? It can't be Thomas and Self Storage 2? I don't know.
You put a temporary sign up. Thomaston self-storage, I don't even know, I can't read it.
Okay,
It's just a banner he just put up.
Oh, so we're going with something.
so the reason, I'll just quickly say the reason why we're here is there was a few changes to the site, but particularly the fence. And it was, the fence, was a specific type of fence in our original meeting, which was way back in 2022.
October of 2022.
Yeah, so, I believe I sent those minutes out just to refresh everybody's memory.
Yes.
On the original hearing. So the fence is sort of highly visible from the neighboring properties and the road and everything. So I really wanted this commission to get, our committee to get more eyes, get another set of eyes on it before, because I can do this sort of as a minor modification without dragging them back into planning and zoning.
I think that makes wise sense.
But I need eyes from ARC back on this because it's a visible feature of the property. So,
That's correct. Okay.
So, yeah, good.
yeah, I'm good.
You're,
For the record, Mark Aragoni, I'm a landscape architect and representing the firm SLR, who is representing Pinbro, who is the owner and the client of the self-storage facility. Okay, so we originally got it permitted. One of my colleagues, I think Dave Dixon, came up in October and presented the plan.
Mhm.
What I did to make it very simple is, this is the approved plan. And I did some highlight. We're really only focused on fencing right now because that was the significant change. I got a phone call.
Mhm.
From the owner, Mike Panett, who got a visit from Jeremy doing his job saying, something doesn't look right
Yeah.
according to the plan. So I got the call from the client. Just to give you a little background, as part of a condition of approval, we had to survey the foundations of the buildings before the building went up. That was all done.
Mhm.
The buildings are up. The site looks really nice and clean. Jeremy was out there, noticed the fence, made the phone call. I got the phone call from the client saying, I think we made a few changes in the field. Can you go look at it? Hence, I'm here tonight. So I went and looked at it yesterday. I have a nice photo board to explain to you exactly what we have.
all right.
So this is the approved plan. What's shown in the yellow or the green is what was supposed to be 6-foot-high vinyl fence, tan in color,
Tan vinyl, yeah.
tan vinyl. So you can see there was a run along this long storage building here, supposed to be, and there was a run here that split the existing 3-family house that's also owned by the same owner of the proposed development. It was supposed to be here and here. Now I'll highlight and there was also chain link fence proposed throughout the rest.
I remember this now, yeah.
Yep. So what's highlighted in blue is the chain link fence that's actually got installed. So there's nice chain link fence from the back of this building down here. One change was there was going to be timber guide rail here.
Yeah.
Remember
He
that?
decided to put chain link fence around his detention basin.
And
here.
I'll just jump in. I initially okayed that because it's not a visible location.
It's
from the
actually a
road.
better way to.
It looks
He didn't
nice.
want
Seems
people.
safer.
he
Yeah,
didn't-
it is,
A
yeah.
lot of towns and municipalities require.
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Is the guide rail there too?
The guide rail's not there.
Not there.
No, he put a gate in here for
Okay.
maintenance.
Yeah,
and the chain link
there's like
fence.
a two-door
But
gate. I think.
why was the guide rail put in there originally? Why was that designed?
The guide rail was there just to stop vehicles from
Yeah.
potentially hopping the
Okay,
curb.
so-
Didn't want to.
So are you saying that the chain link fence is to serve the same purpose?
Pretty much, yeah.
But
Really?
it'll actually keep people out too, and so in
Yeah, it's
addition to
most-
cars.
Come on now. There's a big difference between a car stopping against the guide rail, because that's what a guide rail is designed to do. A fence, chain link fence isn't designed to stop a car.
I think it was, to your point, yes, I can't argue that point.
Okay,
The amount of traffic that's gonna be in this area.
no, I get that,
Yeah.
but, and I'm not opposed to the fence.
Mhm.
But I'm just questioning the safety aspect of the removal of the guide rail is what I question.
Was that a wood guide rail or was that?
It was wood.
It was
Yeah,
wood.
yeah, there's a similar one that got installed that I'll show you in the photos.
I mean, if,
It runs around here on the drive-through for the neighboring
Yep,
Sonic.
yep,
It was of that.
I
It
mean,
wasn't a
if-
crash tested guide rail, anything like that. It was a timber post, timber rail.
okay, so you need to write me something explaining why you removed the guide rail.
Okay.
Just,
Or it's totally up to your purview to say, could we please have the guide rail in the fence?
I was gonna say, could we have both?
It's
I mean,
totally up
if the
to you.
guide rail was there for a reason, then it should be there.
The guide rail was a
mean-
buffer
I mean,
between.
as much
yeah.
as it's not it might not be crash rated.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking low speed, we're
Mhm.
talking a car that may just.
It's a bump
Just-
rather than a drive into
Right,
it. yeah.
and a bump through a chain link fence may or may not sustain a vehicle from going in there.
Well, I know when Mike called me to request this, Mike Bennett called me to request this, it was specifically to keep people out from falling down into the,
Okay,
that was
That's-
his,
yeah,
that was his
Mhm.
explanation.
okay.
Yeah,
And I like the idea of the fence there
Yeah.
just for that reason, because that way you keep people out of
Oh,
it
yeah,
or
yeah.
debris or.
It is a pretty
You
deep,
know.
it's a pretty deep,
Mhm.
you know, deeper than we usually see.
And if
Yeah.
it's that deep, then I
Yeah.
think it needs the.
I was gonna say, how
guide
deep
rail.
is deep?
Well, what's the scale on
What's the
that?
contours?
Let's
What are
see,
those,
those
2-footer?
I mean,
No,
I mean, you
what
could
are
drive.
those?
Well,
If you
that's
got in there with the car.
true enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Nine
So
feet,
it's two,
Don't take
two,
somebody to
four,
back
six,
up
8
and-
feet,
8
9
feet.
feet.
Let's
yeah,
have the,
to the bottom.
Yeah,
let's do both.
I think we need the guardrail still.
So we'll put the guide rail basically where
Mhm.
it was.
Yes.
It'll
Yeah,
go in
and I
front
think-
of the chain link fence.
Yes.
The people,
We should have, I think we have plenty of room.
Mhm.
yeah, the chain link fence will deter the people, but
Mhm.
should a car go through, it's deep enough that the car got stuck.
Does that have an outlet or is that just a passive?
It
It
does.
has an outlet, control structure right there.
No,
Yeah.
but the bottom, in the bottom. Like during a rain, does it fill up and then just soak in? It's
Yeah,
just a
fills up and
soaker?
soaks in, yeah.
So that takes a long time for it to,
Well, it's
Subside. It
pretty
could.
dry right now, so, and we've had a lot of
Yeah.
rain, so.
I went out there,
Filled up.
I
but
went
I
out
guess,
there.
I
a
guess
while
what I'm
ago.
saying
Yeah.
is there is, if it does fill up and it takes a while to come down, then yeah, if there's 8 feet of water in it or even 6, it needs to rail then.
The last time I actually paid attention to that was when there were still foundations.
Yeah, it's functioning. and
Yeah.
It looks heck of a lot better than neighbors, but we won't get to that one.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there was a couple other minor things I approved. There was a grass strip in here
Yeah,
that I allowed them to do stone because it's not traveled by vehicle, so it shouldn't compact really. That
drainage
much.
wise, it doesn't
So-
change the drainage. We always knew we had water coming this way, which is why the drainage got put in
Mm-hmm,
here.
yeah.
If you go
Yeah.
out there and look, I'll show you the photos. The
Rather than
paving
doing
company
it,
did
rather than doing a
really, really
2-foot strip of
nice
grass.
job cleaning, so.
Mm-hmm.
So just to stay on what's out there, chain link
Okay.
fence is out there now.
Yep.
And the chain link fence is across the frontage. Now, if you look at the same facility that he did, the plans actually called for vinyl fence across the front, which made no sense.
Mhm.
It's the similar situation that he did on
South Main.
South Main Street as
Yeah.
far as the black chain link fence with the sliding gate
Mm-hmm,
across the frontage. I will show you. That is gonna get moved because I found something when I went out there yesterday. So the installed vinyl fence location as opposed to this is where it was supposed to go. The decision was made in the field. I can't take ownership of it. The nice vinyl fence goes from the corner of the existing 3-4 family house and runs right to the corner of the new building here. So this is where the fence is, as opposed to between this new building and the 3-family house parking area. So they made the choice, they moved it over to here from here. In the field, it makes a ton of sense why they did it. I'm just here showing you, I'm gonna explain to you where it is and how it is in the field right now. The other area where the chain link, the vinyl fence was supposed to go was here. I'm gonna show you in the field that the back side of this building is the best visual screen you can possibly have. There's a couple other reasons why they didn't install this fence. One, the roof leaders of the storage buildings pop down in a couple locations here and tie in. And then the Sonics generator got put about mid-building, about 4 feet, 5 feet off of this building. It's gotta be right on the property line.
Right next to our Ballard.
And they're
Center.
accessing, they have a big access in the back side of this. Bottom line is, when I show you the photos, I think you'll understand that this building, to put a 6-foot high vinyl fence right 2 feet off of it, really doesn't make any sense.
Mhm.
Because
It's
this-
only 2 feet from the building?
It's
Yeah.
only 2 or 3 feet
From
from
the
the
property.
That
From the
doesn't even
property
sound like
line.
a maintenance.
It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna show you some pictures of what it looks like out here.
Yes, please.
Okay, so.
Yep.
Here we go. Made this board myself.
Nice,
Hey,
nice.
Wow, impressed.
all right, so this is from the Sonic driveway. They did coordinate with the Sonic on their concrete work.
Yep.
Looks really nice. They did a good job.
Yeah.
But this was supposed to have
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
vinyl fence
Mhm.
off. The building serves as. Here it is right here. Here's a close-up of it.
Mhm. Yep.
So, and here's that timber guide rail, which is part of the Sonic, which is
Right.
what we're gonna put in back
Yep.
up there.
Mhm.
So I guess the request is that we don't have to go and put that run of vinyl fence in along this building. And then at the back of that building, it just turns into the chain link fence. And here's the detention basin in the back
That is.
with the chain link fence.
Mhm. So there is room in the gravel to put the.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go, good. Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's it there as well. That's the,
You know, I think you're right.
no, this is a picture from the.
Oh, from the
gas
other-
station.
Having a fence against that, it's like.
How close would the fence be to the
Well,
building?
he said two or
It's like
three
2 or
feet.
3 feet. That's what it's
That's
showing. on
wide
the
enough
plan.
to go between to maintenance.
No.
Yeah, it just didn't.
And what's,
doesn't make
and what's the surface that's there now? What?
Grass.
It's grass.
Whose property is that to mow?
So here's the maintenance part of it.
That's
We
what I-
originally called it to be
Stone?
just stone because it was an unmaintainable strip between the fence and the building.
Totally, yeah.
Right,
Now it can just be maintained.
As a
They're
grass.
gonna figure that
yeah.
out.
because it's grass on
Because you-
on the gas
You
station
could
side
just,
too.
you could just
They did
throw
everything.
seed down and
It's,
that
it's,
side,
it's
yeah.
it's already
That's
been
what,
done.
so I
Yeah.
mean, that's,
I think that's fun.
oh, wait a minute, let me see another picture. Yeah, I can see it in the distance there. I took these pictures of the gas. I mean, you're gonna see most of the building anyway with a fence there,
The
right?
building's 3 feet taller than the 6-foot fence. So yeah, you're
Yeah.
gonna see the building.
So what type of fence was supposed to go
I'll show
there?
you. This fence
Tan vinyl, yeah,
right over here, which is white vinyl.
yeah.
And
Okay.
that is the run that I'm showing here from the 3-family house. That runs back, and then if you pan over, you see here,
Mm.
and it
Okay.
runs right along here.
My guess, it would have been a similar tone to the building, like,
It would, well,
Yeah,
it
So
said
it's gonna
tan,
be tan.
yeah,
but the 3-family is white,
right.
so.
Yeah,
Dirty white.
Yeah,
Dirty,
Yeah.
off-white.
Now, is that on the property line?
That is on this property.
The far one.
It's on
Yeah.
this property.
But I mean, so the fence posts are,
Oh, trust me, it's on the
Hmm.
storage center, or it's on the 3-family and
Right,
because they do not
Get along.
There's
Well-
no way he would have let them
there's,
put that on.
but I just know by putting fences up on their own property, the
Yes.
fencing in Torrington is allowed on the line, but I've always. put
We always
fences
recommend that you leave,
Put it on your side of the-
leave a maintenance strip
Oh.
for you to get over there.
on
So you
a
don't,
50-foot lot.
you don't have to
Can't do that.
trespass.
so I'm,
Yeah,
so
I'm okay with that.
was the fence supposed to be there for,
So this is where the
The
fence was
zoning-
supposed to go.
was it
In that
requirement?
strip.
No, well, so it was a recommendation
Sorry,
here.
interrupt
It was a recommendation here that was adopted by P and Z as the plan. The notes are on here. So it's the plan of,
We recommended the fence?
Well, was that before?
it was dis-
Scarpelli's
Or was it on your,
done?
or was it on
It
your?
was on the plan that came to
And-
you in October.
and if
of
you look at
2022.
if
You
you look
may
at
have suggested the color.
I think you did, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Because
because
of
I
the
was saying
building.
it was specifically
Yeah, because
discussed.
of the building.
Yeah,
So
tan
it
colored
was-
vinyl fence on the side property lines to match the tones of the proposed buildings.
Okay,
Fencing on the
Oh,
rear
that's
of
the
the
P&Z
property can be
decision.
chain link.
Did I bring? Because the ARC, the actual ARC minutes,
Yeah.
we specifically had a conversation about the fence. It may have been a short one, but it was a conversation.
so the picture. The lower, oh no, the next one over, that
Mhm.
one there.
Mhm.
So that is looking between the existing house and the new
Yeah.
storage.
So what they did is they repaved and regraded this whole area.
Okay,
If you saw it before,
yes.
it was a nightmare. There was like an 18-inch jump right here.
So is there, I can't see in the picture, is there a fence between?
So here's what's gonna happen. This is what they're going to change right now, because as part of the DOT encroachment permit. On this plan, there's a
Mhm.
nice dimension that says 32 feet, 32.53 feet off the existing edge of
Oopsie,
roadway.
oopsie.
This got installed 22 feet off the edge of the roadway. So the nice, beautiful landscaping that's gonna go along with the nice stonework that
Mhm.
was put on this building is gonna go still here, but the fence has to come back.
Right there.
They installed it wrong, and I called
Yeah.
Mike and I go, Houston.
You have a problem.
The fence is not in the right location. I'm trying to figure out, why did we put the landscaping behind the fence? Well, it's
Yeah.
because the fence. So this gate system
No.
is gonna come back to
Oh,
here.
that's too bad.
Not our problem, not your problem. We're
Right,
gonna fix
right,
it.
okay.
So the landscaper is on board to try and get this all done next week. So this should really dress up
Can it be
that.
picked up and over it?
No.
Okay.
So what's gonna happen now is this
Yeah.
fence, it looks
Mhm.
like a weird gap right here right now.
Hmm,
This fence is actually gonna be right off the edge of here. The
Sure.
gate will be
okay,
here,
yeah,
and I think what he's going to do, I would recommend that he do, is just extend that fence, the chain link to up to here at least. Cause it's gonna, people are gonna have to walk through here. You know, they're gonna walk through here.
yes, yes.
He wanted to give the ability and a little bit of freedom for people who use this side of the building
Mhm.
to at least be able to step onto this area rather than be up against a chain link fence. That was his idea.
But the purpose of then getting into the site with the gate will be lost because there's no fence down that side.
I mean, he's thinking right now that he may not put the key, the fob
No,
lifted gate.
But what I'm saying is you could, there's gonna be a gate, there's a gate here.
Mhm.
Security to drive in, but
Mhm.
there's no security.
You'd have to trust.
If you don't put a fence here, then people can
Yeah.
just walk into the whole site willy-nilly.
And he owns both sites. The thought process is he may take this gate out. This may not become a gated access.
He said he was gonna do
Or
cameras or
it's
something like
access
that.
by pedestrian from here.
Oh, yeah, it's accessed by
Mhm.
pedestrian
It's just
all
the
through.
car
here.
that's gated.
Yeah, he's gonna make sure that,
Can a car drive all the way in through here?
Well, not here.
no, because
Well,
this
there's no
is,
fence here, though. If there's no
Right.
fence where the yellow is, if there's no
there
fence,
is no fence there, so I think
Right.
I have a photo of,
So
it's kind of what's.
Yeah, it's
behind-
right here.
Yeah, right there.
it's right here.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a control thing for his
I'm
operation.
really surprised he put garage bays on that side of the
Was there
building.
supposed to be garage bays?
There
on
was
that
always
side?
gonna be bays on that side of the building.
Just walk in though. They were all walk-ins.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
So here's my problem.
So are they
why
all,
is it keeping the?
Well, we sure can't endorse trespassing to pull into a garage bay, but
No.
you know, that's up
But
to him.
Here's the problem though. If he sells this.
Mhm.
Because this is a separate property now, right? This
it's
is
a separate property.
It's separate property. If he sells this, then, or if he sells both separately, then there's a huge issue with access to these doors from this property.
What's the width here? Just like what's the scale?
That's probably 10 foot total if the fence were there.
Right here.
Yeah.
So,
You need to isolate this from this completely with that white fence here
Mm.
to prevent access.
What would you consider, so say we needed a barrier there. I would say that this fence wouldn't be the right choice.
I do it lower.
I would think it would be like a
No.
barrier, but of a chain link
Well,
fence.
no, because it's also, if you get people living here, I wouldn't want to see people coming and going all day and night. Accessing
least-
those bays.
but at least if there's a
I
barrier,
wouldn't want.
at
anything
least
to-
someone knows what they're buying when they buy the house. You know,
Yeah.
you're buying it with a chain link fence next door.
No, not me. Was the white vinyl supposed to go here?
Yes.
Yeah, wherever this, the
Tan bar,
highlight,
tan
yeah.
bar.
tan
Then
bar.
it's gotta go back. That's gotta go in. They're two separate properties.
I didn't realize it was two separate properties.
Yeah,
They are.
They're- yeah,
Same
they're
owner,
just-
two
just
separate
common
properties,
ownership.
and I can tell you what,
because
The
it
mo-
was
the
something,
plan
it was
probably
all
is-
one property, right? And it got that,
no, it was always two
Was it
properties. Yeah, it was just, this property was larger in the back.
okay, you're
And it
right.
was a lot line adjustment to
Correct,
the
yes,
minimum
okay.
size.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Mhm.
So the-
We conditioned that and that was done.
The long-term plan is most likely, this is going to become self-storage. We wanted to do this
Hmm.
to start the project. All the stormwater was sized
Mhm.
to handle this as,
Sure,
Well, then he won't mind taking down his own fence to take the house down to get
Exactly.
more self-storage.
yeah.
the.
Mhm.
I would still, I'll put it back on the table in that. This is installed and I think it's a wonderful separation because there is no control over, and this is not very attractive. On the record, what
Mhm.
happens on the other side of that.
That's,
front.
that's the auto.
This
the
makes
auto
a ton of
repair, right?
sense.
Sure.
To put the fence there. I
Okay.
think that was a great move.
Yep.
But if you put a 6 foot tall, if you put this fence
Mhm.
here and here,
Mhm.
you're really creating almost an alleyway, not a real, because when I was out here yesterday, one of the renters had his temporary hammock put up from here to here, and he was sitting out there reading a book. I had a nice chat with him. By putting that fence along and creating this sort of gunnel
The
through here.
the lower picture that you see down there, the second one in, yeah, along there.
Yeah, if you put that fence in here, I think you're doing a couple things. I think you're actually making it a little bit more difficult for people who live and reside and rent here. Just to function within there, whether it's snow removal, whether it's backing in, turning around, parking your car. I just feel like if you're gonna require a separation. Require it with a chain link fence. Cause you're already gonna have it along the front. I could totally see him turning the corner and running it up here. But that is a little bit, this gets a little bit
Yeah.
in your face.
How wide is this lot? 50?
That's not here.
Mm,
It's it could be 50, yeah, I think it's.
Yeah, because it's, because this building's 35,
35, so yeah, you're.
so
35,
45 maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a typical lot. I mean, on Prospect Street, I have the same situation. The house
Yeah.
is, in many of these houses were to take advantage of the lot size, they put the house closer to the property line on this side.
mhm.
And honestly, I have a chain link fence because my next door neighbor is literally 3 feet
mhm.
from that
Exactly
chain
what
link
that
fence.
situation.
But it's a chain link.
Yeah,
And there's no activity, and it's this alleyway of weed control between and actually, I don't even know whose fence it is.
if there were no bays on that side,
It wouldn't be. an
I would
issue.
say the chain
Well-
link would be fine, but. You're gonna have people coming and going. I see right now, people are gonna drive in this driveway. Anybody who rents along here,
They're gonna go in
they're
there.
gonna drive in here. They're gonna be parking here. These guys are gonna get pissed off at them because there's gonna be so much activity
One
there.
thing I would say is at least. Man, people would have to be pretty dumb to see a house there with a fence there and pull into that and pull into the house to get to the.
You kidding me?
I have no issue
That's
with
pretty-
putting the chain link fence up.
But I think,
It's
I think
separation. I worry
You're
that,
thinking more of a visual barrier.
it's visual too, because you have to separate commercial from residential.
I think when you see the house, I think most reasonable people are not gonna pull into the house next door and to get to their garage base. That would be,
Well,
that would be
Well,
pretty.
But we have
Well,
to,
you said
we have to design
reasonable.
for
Yeah.
those
We're not talking
unreasonable.
reasonable.
but.
Because a
That's
reasonable.
that's just
fence-
that's
a
just
fence would
trespassing.
Stop that.
Hmm?
A fence would stop.
Because someone would have to leap the fence to get to their unit.
Right, but at the same time, you're still gonna have.
oh, I
people-
would hope they would think.
If, I'm
differently
just
once they
thinking, if
saw
I
it.
lived in that house and I saw people coming and going at all hours of the day into
Yeah.
those storage units. And especially if they're talking, if they're making noise, it's,
To your point, as long as it's residential use,
yes.
it should be separated from the commercial side.
Mhm.
Regardless that the same guy owns the property, the usage is. very
Right, cause
different.
he could sell the house and
Well, he
then,
could, but if his plan is even, but right
Right.
now, the usage is not that.
I feel for the people that live there now, but it would be, but a new owner would be buyer beware. I'm not worried
Oh,
about
well,
who buys the house in the future,
would-
because they're gonna look at it and decide
But
whether
if
to
he's
buy it
gonna
or not.
use it eventually
But-
to just
but
expand.
To your
his
point, the
storage,
current people,
yeah.
I would have to, honestly, I
Mm,
would have to agree with you. It would have to be a visual barrier because
Yeah.
we don't know eventually there's a lot of available activity in all those doors.
Mhm.
And without the fence, they're gonna drive in here to access that. But even so, with a visible, like shorter chain link, any activity there is,
Is it paved right? I'm sorry, Mark. Is it paved right across? Is this paved right?
There's a
right-
gravel strip in between.
yeah, it's.
yeah, that was what I allowed him to change from grass to gravel.
Okay,
It was only like a 2 foot strip and I was like,
And then there'll be grass back here.
yeah,
But you're proposing to leave that gravel
Yeah,
between the two paved?
it's just maintenance wise,
and it's only getting foot traffic, not, it shouldn't be getting traffic, it should be getting foot traffic.
Well, if
which-
it's foot traffic,
you know,
then
But
it's-
it-
maybe
but
the fence
it
needs to
will-
go back.
And if you can get through here, if you can drive through here, then even if they come in here, they're gonna drive around.
We've always said gravel parking lots are impervious, but not.
That's the other thing.
yeah.
You can literally drive into here from around here.
Yeah, you don't want to be able to do that, definitely.
Which you can as well now still. So my opinion is you need the white fence on that side, like on the plan. It was there on the plan to separate the house from the,
Or is that
from
the
the
tan?
business.
Is that noted as
Well,
tan?
Unfortunately.
It was tan, but it's white now, so.
Oh, yeah, but you're right.
It
Yeah.
would make sense to do tan.
Unfortunately, because you're saying it'll create that
It will.
tunnel, but that's because you put the other fence in on your own accord,
Hey.
or they did.
But
yeah, no, you can.
This makes very good sense.
No, that was a great call on
Yeah,
their
no,
part.
that,
There's
that's
no
really
doubt
good.
about
This
it.
Yeah,
is
and I-
almost identical to the fence.
He was telling me a story about roofing, I think, some sort of roofing
Oh,
issue with it.
I'm just happy I was never out there. They do not get along.
Oh.
This has been going okay.
What do you think, Diane?
I do agree that there's a very good possibility someone will drive into that driveway of the 3-family thinking they have access to the storage buildings. Yes.
I mean, even if you put up that stockade fence, I can tell you, they're still gonna get people to drive in there. Hopefully, it's a lot less.
Right.
But you're gonna have to get to the property, you're gonna have to jump the fence. You're gonna realize, oh crap, I'm on the wrong property.
Well, yeah, obviously once they drive in and see how it's laid out, that's
Yeah.
the incorrect.
Hopefully they'll see the white fence before they turn.
He
in.
could also,
Right.
put some signage on the
Oh, yeah.
property too, to say,
Yeah.
you know,
And that's a busy spot right there for people to go into the wrong way and then trying to get out of it. And
Well, I think this is a clearer entrance rather than on the side.
And
It will be when they move the fence back.
I know, that's, I didn't even, that I didn't even notice.
Oh,
I did
oh,
not
I
even
did.
notice
I
that.
was like, what is going on? Look at that picture. I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, oh, I know. I know what
I
happened.
was so focused on my fence rage that I didn't even notice where it was.
Fence
I have a question about the
Fence
retention
rage.
retention basin in the back, when you say curbing. Were those cinder columns up
There is-
proposed, the ones that they put like around gas meters and such, so,
Oh,
not
the bollards, yeah.
yeah,
We originally had boulders around the edge of that,
Oh, that's right.
and then it got changed out to
the
timber.
curbing.
Timber,
Mhm.
yeah, like
Timber post
timber-
guide rail.
Timber rails, yeah.
It's basically just like that.
Yep.
Hmm.
Well, that's
No,
what we, that's what we
Yeah,
have
I
next door.
think that's a
too.
good idea to put that back.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, it makes sense. So you will have chain link fence to here, and then from that point on, it looks like you're leaning toward that 6 foot
I'm afraid.
stockade. Could we keep it white so we don't have tan?
Oh,
in
yes,
the white?
no. It
That'll
has to
match that.
match, yeah, white,
Mhm.
white.
Okay.
No, you know, with further discussion. I wasn't realizing it was still a separate piece of
I
property.
have the plans.
Definitely still.
Diane can't see them.
And even if it's his and he wants to expand it, then that's up to him to
Yeah.
do that. Because the house won't be there anymore.
Yep, you'll see that fence on Facebook Marketplace. It'll be trying.
I may buy it. you know.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't buy that.
You put it on the other, you can put it on the other side. You can put it on the gas
Wrong
station
one.
side.
Yeah, there you go.
But this is a good call too here.
That I
Yeah.
agree with.
Just
That,
the
yeah,
maple
yeah.
fence here.
You could,
I've-
yeah, you could just.
I've been in there and
That's
it's
actually
the gas
neat
station
looking.
property to realize that, yeah. It would look weird to see the fence, especially if there's only a couple feet. You'll never maintain anything.
You know, it makes me
there.
wonder too. Now, obviously, he didn't put any access doors there.
Mm-mm.
He put the access doors here in preparation for selling this.
Correct.
Yeah, I
I-
just didn't.
So you know what?
There were always doors here. Oh, I cannot tell you what the sizing was on
I
the,
guess I just didn't notice that when we did.
There was
when we did the
always
initial
doors on that
approval.
side.
Yeah,
because it's a wider building, so.
Yeah.
It's a double.
so right
stack.
now it's
And it's-
basically hand loading, you know,
Well,
you really can't
are
drive
there-
down there.
So there's so much
Are there
flexibility.
doors on this side of the building down here
Yeah,
too?
yeah.
So this is all walk around as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
So that was the premise is
But here's the.
walk
these
around,
buildings-
walk around.
These buildings are so flexible.
Yeah.
If he wanted to load, he could take this whole 30 feet, could be
He could
rented
load
out by
one
one
side.
person.
Yeah,
So
Oh,
whether,
okay.
whether it's an
Mhm.
overhead door on this side or a
Mhm.
person door on that side, he can load it from the other side, just as
Just there.
easy.
Do they go all the way, do they go all the way
They
through, or
can,
they
it's all-
divide, they're divided
all-
up the middle
You
right
can
now?
move, you could.
It's just cheap metal studs inside.
They
of
move
it.
they
them
just-
however you
right,
wanna rent
yeah,
it.
just remove them.
You do.
Oh, that
Okay,
makes
oh,
sense.
neat.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, it's
Hmm.
a good system.
It went up like a Lego set in a.
Once
in
those,
Yeah.
once we
about 2
figured out the
days.
foundation
Yeah,
issue,
yeah,
Yeah,
It's an issue?
yeah, we used the helical pile system
Oh, okay.
rather than a full depth frost wall.
Oh, okay.
It actually worked pretty well.
yep, yeah, they were up in like,
And
seems like 2 or
They're
3
what,
days.
just poured into the
This
concrete?
garage. Is that-
Yeah, they're
is that
drilled
back
in and the
here?
concrete gets poured on the
Okay.
top of them.
Oh, neat.
The what?
Where's this garage?
All the way in the back.
Is it- Is it here?
Oh, that's
Right
the
there.
next door. That's
Oh,
the next
here.
door.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so this is this view. Got it. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
that's
yeah.
right along that,
Okay.
that
Yeah, that's
property.
somebody else. Okay.
so does the fencing go the entire length of the buildings? Because as I recall, just being at that 3-family, the backyard was quite expansive and you
That's a
could
long
walk over
application.
to your neighbor behind there.
Flip
Yeah,
up-
you cannot walk, there is a complete separation between the, if you're standing on Midgeon Avenue, looking down the property line with, trying to figure out this, if you're looking to the west,
Yep,
there's
Oh, I did.
now there's either vinyl fence
I was looking. at
or
that.
chain link
These are the
fence
other-
along that entire property line all the way to the back.
okay, so no one can walk from that 3-family and go down in the back and walk around to the storage
Well, they can
units.
right now.
Right now they can, that's one of the
That's what
discussions.
we're talking about.
Right,
About
yeah,
what-
okay,
About what to put up to
Yeah.
separate.
yep,
I think where we are is that will not happen, whether or not he chooses to put a gate in here and lock it.
Well,
That's
Yeah.
Hey,
Mhm.
totally up to him.
yeah,
uh-huh,
fences make good neighbors.
Yeah, I think that one's gonna make a really good neighbor.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I think that was good.
Well,
Yeah.
From the picture, you can't even see across. So.
Well, they do enough projects, if they decide they wanna build more storage units next door, they can remove that fence and use it elsewhere.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, that'll last forever.
Well, I mean, he's still not putting that in, so he's probably about a wash because he's put
Yeah.
additional fence
Oh,
in there.
sure. Yeah, there you go.
He's about a wash.
All right, I don't feel so bad.
And he had to put the guardrail in.
Okay.
Recommendation, that's it. Put the fence back.
Yep. As
So-
discussed,
So basically, you're approving the removal or the
Elimination. of this.
elimination of that.
Of the
piece,
vinyl
Yeah,
fence
yep.
along the eastern, I guess we'll call that the eastern
Eastern
boundary.
boundary, yeah. So we're approving the elimination of that piece.
Mhm.
You
Do
would
we
do-
have to approve the
But, oh, the-
orange one?
I think you probably have to approve that one, just,
that's on the neighboring property, but a piece of it's on on this
yeah,
property,
it
so,
is.
yeah. All right,
So
I'm just
tech-
gonna go back to the
Oh, wait
minutes
a
for this
minute.
anyway.
No, yeah, so technically the orange fence is on the property that is not regulated by this application.
No, but
Yeah,
just a piece of it is
It does
just-
extend.
Oh, a
like
little tiny
10
piece?
10 feet of it.
Oh, okay. okay.
Yeah.
All right, I see. And then the addition of the fence around the pond,
The
inner
guide
fence.
rails along.
Oh, no, the guardrail was already there, so the guardrail doesn't,
It's just.
Oh,
yeah,
the
it
additional
just need-
chain link fence, yeah.
so that.
That one I actually already approved,
Oh, okay.
so we don't
okay.
have but we have to like clarify that we want that wooden guardrail back.
Do we? Or we
Is it-
just say he hasn't put it in yet?
Oh, that's true. It's
It's
already on
true.
the
It's
plan.
already on
It's
the
on
already
the
on the
plan,
plan. Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
boom, and that's gonna go right there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right
It
there.
just has to go in, so.
So,
yeah.
so Diane, since you're our lone P and Z representative,
yep,
you don't have a problem with me doing this as an in-house modification, right? Just the fencing?
I do not have a problem with that, no.
I didn't think so, but I wanted to make sure. At least our one P and Z rep we have here.
Well, appeals.
Yeah.
That's gotta count for something.
We don't want things getting to you.
I know, we don't make any friends.
All right. Okay, so I'll make that motion.
Second,
Yes,
and all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Yes,
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you, Diane.
thank you.
we're good.
Good job.
We're good. So adjourned.
Adjourned.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
And adjourned and good night.
5:30.
Good night, everyone.
Not
Thanks,
bad.
Diane.
Thanks,
Bye.
Diane.
Bye-bye.
Median record time. All right.
Beautiful.
All right, let me just figure out how to.
Well, thank you very much, and I apologize that we even had to come back, but you
Yeah.
can't always control.
Oh,
your
no, that's
comments.
fine.